Hey everyone, welcome to Nolsey's Outdoors. And a lot of people criticise me for calling it Nolsey's Outdoors because I never go out.
G'day everyone. Join me today on everyone's bucket list holiday as we travel all the way to the tip of the country. 20 days, 10,000 k's and smiles all the way to the great Cape York Peninsula. So sit back, relax and enjoy May 2024's Cape York adventure.
Alright, so it's crisp, probably like 15 degrees this morning. Warming the car up now, just getting it all ready to go. Gonna lock up the house to all that sort of stuff, but I've fully loaded it now, so let's have a gander how much stuff I've brought. Decent bit, a bit more than the trip to Fraser because it's a longer trip, and it's not just me in the car this time, so it's cool. That warmed up and ready to go. We're going to be heading out pretty soon because we've got to make it to Yeppoon today. So there's 8 hours of driving in that, so probably not 8 or 9 hours of driving in that. So that's going to be today's mission, I think. Just pulled over at a driver reviver, so we're about 60 k's out of Yeppoon. Yeah, it's going to be a long road ahead of us, I think.
So our first night was in Emu Park, which was absolutely lovely to visit, with a very nice war memorial and a statue called the Singing Ship, named after the noise the wind chimes that are built into the statue make. So the next day we travelled to Airlie Beach, which again is another excellent tourist spot with heaps of great things to see and do. But where we camped all the night definitely had a few unwanted guests.
Fucker, he's angry. He's angry. Wait, poke him. Bye bye.
After leaving Airlie Beach the morning of day 3, we drove to Cairns to stay the night, and I tell you what, the drive to Cairns is abysmal. This footage you're seeing now is the highlights, and I'm not even joking. The Bruce Highway is notorious for fatalities, and it's understandable why. There's signage everywhere, so remember, stop, revive, survive. On our 4th day, we left Cairns and drove to Lakeland, where we stopped at what is known as the Gateway to Cape York.
Welcome to Cape York Peninsula. What drive it's in. Oops.
After stopping in at the Lion's Den Hotel, we drove to the Han River Roadhouse for our first night of real camping. There's plenty of things to see along the way, with excellent river crossings, causeways and lookouts dotted along the route. next campsite was Bramwell Tourist Park. Pretty easy to get there, just turn right when you see the white wheels. Okay, so we've just pulled up at a camp spot at Bramwell Tourist Park. Yes, it's a pretty sizable outfit out over here. Huge amount of space. I imagine in certain seasons this would get packed. I imagine there's lots of little spots where there's covers set up for like large gatherings, and we've pinched one just over here ourselves. That saves me having to set up the awning. I may still set up the awning, I don't know. I'll see how I feel about it, see what I want to do. But that cover gives us perfect cover over the swag and the kitchen and everything. And I don't think, it might sprinkle. It's like a little bit overcast, as you can see from the sky. Like there's a bit of blue over there, but that's about it, so I reckon all that'll be gone by tomorrow. Yeah, we'll set up camp. I've positioned the car as such as to when, hopefully, in the morning the sun will come directly across over the solar panel. But yeah, no. Been a long road ahead so far, but I've got some confidence in the rest of the trip. So after several days of driving and camping, we finally made our way to the beginning of the old telegraph track. Good. We're here at Cape York. We're going to be doing the old telegraph track today. It's going to be a first crossing will be Palm Creek, but our first stop for the evening will be Birdie, but we're going to grab as much info and footage as we can for it, okay? So stay tuned.
Alright, so we just laid our tyres down to 25 PSI. I'm still in high range. I'll probably move to low range later on, but from what I can see so far, the track could be pretty muddy, so I'm on 25 PSI all round. Maybe I'll put into low range just before I get into any challenges to make sure I've, oiled up the diffs, oiled up the transfer case, make sure that's all sorted, but already up ahead, it looks like mud central, so let's wish ourselves luck, hey? Alright, so I've just walked up what appears to be a chicken track compared to a big, muddy, long stretch right before the car here. This is not, I can still see the roadhouse just over there, so yeah, this is a big, I don't know how well I'll be able to see that, but it's all just mud down in there. But from here, it looks pretty safe, except the entryway is a little bit dicey, so there's probably going to be a lot of these, so I don't know if I'll record literally every single one of them, because that could get tedious, time-consuming, and boring. But I'll do my best to find the more hectic challenges like Palm Creek and all that stuff. So that's Palm Creek. Look at it. This is like Gunshot, but worse. Or what I imagine Gunshot to be like, but worse. Like if I jumped in that hole, I'd break my legs. Or I think there's going to be a track around to the right. We're going to go around that way.
So after realising this early in the season that Palm Creek was impassable by my car, we decided to backtrack back to Bramwell Junction and then go up via the bypass to see if we can loop back in after Gunshot. So it was about this point in the trip when I figured out that it actually really does matter when you go. Turns out May the 15th, I think that day was, probably way too early in the season realistically. If I was to do this again, I'd probably do it in more like August or September. Mostly because, for the exact reason as to why we have to backpedal here, it's just too hard of a challenge for us to actually pass in something that's a bit more pedestrian. Because that's what my car is. It's a tourer. It's not an absolutely monstrous four-wheel drive for sure. It was about this point in the day when the rain started to pick up as well, and that was one of my concerns if I had gotten stuck to be caught in bucketing rain while I'm trying to get myself unstuck with the winch or whatever. So I'm glad that we did what we did. This section of the route is actually a bypass route past a ranger station between Telegraph Road and the old Telegraph track. It actually lands you just after Gunshot Creek and then right before Cockatoo Creek. So we'll be checking out Cockatoo Creek for a night for camping.
Alright, so we just pulled up at Cockatoo Creek. I think there's probably a sign of it being pretty bad if there's a sign here advertising towing. That's got to be pretty bad. So we're going to go walk down, have a gander at it, and then have a look at that.
So it was starting to get dark. We decided to set up at Cockatoo Creek. The water was impassable here once again. It was like easily bonnet deep, and I wasn't super keen on getting stuck in Cockatoo Creek at all, especially going blind. So yeah, we hunkered down for the night, and then we got on our way to Fruitbat Falls the next day.
Looks like a little bit of a walk down to the falls, but here we are at Fruitbat. We're going to go check out these falls here, which I've brought my tripod to get a good view of that there for certain. I think it's going to be a pretty sight to see. It's really early in the season still, so I reckon there's going to be a lot of water here. So let's go have a gander.
Yeah, so as you can hear, the water was very loud. There was a lot of it. So we had a good look at it. It was definitely not safe for swimming at all. And yeah, just be croc safe, you know.
Here we are at Fruitbat Falls. We read a sign on the way in that said crocodiles have been spotted in this area, so we can't swim. I believe people do for just a safety reason. Yeah, at the moment. The water here is flowing very, very quickly, so if you're not a confident swimmer, you'll just get swamped away, along with the fact that there's a lot of floating debris. So yeah, there's a couple of reasons to not swim here at the moment. Later in the season, probably, yeah, sure, where it's a lot less water, but not right now. This is just too hectic. But absolutely, look at the view you have of this waterfall here. Absolutely breathtaking. Alright, so you can see the Prado all the way over there. This appears to be the chicken track side, which is what I'm going to take, because the exit on this side is absolutely hectic. But I'm concerned because if I just look up over here a little bit, somebody's kindly left what appears to be an ARB bull bar as a present for whoever can fetch it. So if you're after an ARB bull bar, it's near mint, never thrashed, low highway Ks only, $2,000. Alright, so we've just approached what appears to be a different exit of a different line that people used to take, but that's obviously just completely destroyed as well, and literally there's not even a tyre track here. No one's even attempted this, so I don't even know where the entrance for this attempt is. So it could be that road there that you drop down off of and then come over this way and come up, or it could be over that way, I don't know. But yeah, it looks like hell on earth over here. So we're going to go take that chicken track, which just looks really, really easy, and then we'll go from that. What I find funny about these towing signs is it's got the phone number, sure, and you can record it. And the funny thing is, though, is there's literally no reception near any of them. So how do they tow you out if you can't get a hold of them from here? You'd have to like go back into town and then get them to tow you out. But yeah, let's go hit this chicken track up. It's a little bit dicey, just a touch on the entry, but this looks pretty okay. It's pretty flat. There's a little bit of stuff over here I've got to miss out on. And if I look around over this way, there's a bit of a rut I've got to dodge there. So if I keep, to the left, to the right on that side, and to the left on this side, I'll make it out, no dramas. Here's the first top section of Elliott Falls. I believe further down the creek is Canal Creek and then Twin Falls, so we'll go have a gander at that. I believe Canal Creek is a creek we need to cross before we get to Mistake Creek, Or to go Sam's. I think it goes Canal, Sam's, and then Mistake Creek, but we exit the Telegraph track before Mistake Creek, so I don't think we'll be able to get through Nolans at this point in the year. But either way, I'm glad that we came and had a look at this because this is sensational.
So after leaving our last stop, we had to basically tackle what boiled down to deep rutted dirt roads all the way between stops. This here was the last river we attempted before backtracking to the PDR due to track conditions. The long route we take along the PDR took us to our next campsite at Loyalty Beach.
Huge washout. I'm surprised this part of the road's even here. Just caved in, that's what's done.
Before we made it to camp, we had to cross the Jardine River by ferry. The ferry goes for about 90 seconds as it is the only way to get to the very most northern part of the country. So now finally, after almost 3,000 Ks, we made it to Loyalty Beach, our base for the rest of the trip to the tip.
We're at Loyalty Beach now, and it's there's a lot of all the islands, I think. If I'm not wrong, that big one up over there is like, I believe that's Thursday Island. I believe over those ones are just some other little bits and pieces like, you know, that stuff. But I don't have a map to be able to point you the directions as to which island is which, but if you know, let me know in the comments.
First ever western sunset. I mean, blocked by an island, but it's going to be about the best one we're going to get in this country. Or this side of the country.
This here that I'm standing on now is Loyalty Beach. It's got a pretty solid view, pretty solid horizon, but obviously you can't swim here for crocodiles, so I wouldn't recommend that. But allegedly there's a resident crocodile here. I don't remember this crocodile's name because they've named it. Apparently it's like 5.5 meters long, and every morning at about between now and 9 AM, so for context it's about 7:30 at the moment, it'll wander its way either up from that way or down from that way. So maybe if I get a chance to see it, I'll get some footage of that.
I present the Baconator. 7 pieces of bacon, 1 egg, a crumb of tomato sauce, and 2 English muffins. Behold. If I die from this, post this on my funeral story.
So after leaving camp for the tip, we realised that even that comes with its own challenges.
Okay, so we've just parked up at the at the parking lot at the actual tip of Australia. Short walk up, but it's just got a bunch of, like, you know, signs covered in stickers of previous visitors. I'm not going to touch it myself. So warnings about stingers, you know, quarantine warnings and crocodilius warnings. So yeah, got what appears to be some old, what used to be porta potties, I think, but I could be wrong. I wouldn't ever go near that personally, but yeah. Alright, now we just got to walk up a rock hill to get to the tip now.
After about a half an hour walk from the car park, we made our way to the sign at the top of Australia.
It is so windy here. The audio is going to be atrocious. But here we are at the sign. The northernmost tip of Australia. Cape York.
So there you have it. We made it. After 3,000 Ks, we saw the tip of Australia. All that was left to do now was to get back. I just want to say thank you for anyone who watched all the way to the end. It's been way too long since I've uploaded, and I can't thank all of you enough for following on what has been the biggest journey of my life. Not just to Cape, but putting myself out there on this channel. So for all of you, I once again say thank you.
Okay, so I've just unlocked the car and I've not cleaned it out as of yet, but let's have a look at this. Ready? Yep. Something fell out. So while move that. While very dirty around the base here, very, very little has come into the car other than what I've had to reach into. So yeah, I think the door seals have done very well in this regard, so that's pretty solid. That's a good reason.
Thanks again for tuning in to Nolsey's Outdoors. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Cheers.